Have you ever wished you could live without pain? Imagine stubbing your toe on the corner of the bed and nothing happens. No screaming, no hopping around like a maniac, not even a single curse word. Or walking barefoot across a minefield of Lego pieces and instead of agony, you're just casually strutting like you're on a fashion runway. Sounds like the ultimate superpower, right? Well, not exactly. I'm Dumb Rabbit, just a fluffy genius with oversized glasses and way too many bad ideas. Today, we're diving into one of the weirdest real-life superpowers that humans can actually have. It's called Congenital Insensitivity to Pain, or CIP. Yeah, the name's a mouthful, but the meaning is simple. These people cannot feel pain at all. Not a single pinch, burn, or broken bone registers as pain in their brain, which on paper sounds awesome, like Wolverine but without the screaming part. But here's the problem. Pain isn't just there to annoy us, it's your body's built-in alarm system. Without it, you're basically playing life in hardcore mode, but your health bar is invisible. And guess what? Many people with CIP don't live long because injuries, infections, or burns go completely unnoticed until it's too late. So yeah, never feeling pain might sound like the ultimate cheat code, but in reality, it could be the deadliest curse you could ever ask for. Stick around, because we're about to find out what life without pain really looks like, and trust me, it's not all sunshine and carrots. Pain is kind of like that annoying smoke detector in your kitchen. Sure, it screams at you when you burn toast, but it's also the only thing keeping your house from turning into barbecue night. When you touch a hot stove, nerves in your skin fire off a warning shot straight to your brain. Yo, move your hand or we're gonna roast some fingers. That sharp sting makes you yank back before you do real damage. Without pain, you don't get that warning. You can keep your hand on the stove, smell the delicious aroma of sizzling flesh, and still be like, guess dinner's ready. Not great. Pain is basically your body's spam email, annoying, constant, but sometimes hiding the one important message you really need. Think about when you stub your toe. The pain forces you to stop, check for blood, maybe hop around like a fool. That silly little dance is actually your body's way of saying, hey genius, pay attention, you're fragile. If you couldn't feel that, you'd probably just keep walking until half your toenail fell off. Kids with CIP show how vital pain really is. Some bite their tongue or lips clean through without realizing. Others break bones on the playground and don't even notice until they collapse hours later. It's like having a car without a check engine light. You don't know anything's wrong until the engine literally falls out on the highway. So yeah, pain sucks, but it's also the reason most of us make it past childhood in one piece. If life were a video game, pain would be the tutorial pop-up you can't skip. Annoying? Absolutely. Necessary? More than the Wi-Fi router when you're trying to watch anime. Now imagine growing up without ever feeling that sting. At first, it sounds like a cheat code for childhood. No tears from scraped knees, no screaming after a wasp sting, no drama when you fall off your bike. But the reality is way darker. Kids with CIP often end up in the hospital not because they get hurt more, but because they don't realize when they're hurt at all. There are stories of toddlers chewing on their own tongue until it's bleeding because they never felt the bite. Some kids break an arm, keep playing like nothing happened, and only discover the fracture when the swelling looks like a balloon animal. Others put their hands straight on a hot stove, smell the smoke, but don't understand it's their own skin cooking. In a small village in northern Sweden, researchers discovered several families with unusually high rates of CIP. Imagine an entire neighborhood where no one feels pain. Sounds like the setup for a superhero comic, but doctors visiting the town didn't find heroes. They found people scarred from unnoticed injuries, burns, and infections. Pain may be cruel, but its absence is terrifying. Think of it this way. Most of us treat pain like that friend who never stops complaining. You want to mute them, but the moment they go silent, you're in trouble because they were the only one warning you about the fire in the kitchen. For people with CIP, that friend never existed. Life without pain is like driving blindfolded. Sure, you don't see red lights, but you also don't see the truck about to flatten you. And the worst part, many of these children don't make it to adulthood, not because of the condition itself, but because they can't detect life-threatening injuries in time. For them, everyday life is a silent battlefield. They look normal on the outside, but inside, they're missing the alarm system that keeps the rest of us alive. So here's the big question. If you can't feel pain, is that a superpower or a curse? On the surface, it feels like something straight out of a comic book. Imagine an army of soldiers who don't flinch when shot, who keep running even with broken bones, who never cry out under torture. Hollywood would market that as the ultimate weapon. No fear, no hesitation, no whining about paper cuts. But reality doesn't play by Marvel's rules. The truth is, people with CIP don't become fearless warriors. They become fragile survivors. A child might shatter their kneecap on the playground and keep running, making the injury 10 times worse. A teenager could break their jaw and not even realize it until an X-ray shows the damage. Adults can burn, bleed, or get infected without ever feeling a warning sign. One doctor described treating a young girl with CIP who loved to play outside in winter without gloves. By the time her parents noticed, her fingers were frostbitten beyond repair. She never once complained because for her, freezing skin felt the same as holding a teddy bear. That's not invincibility, that's a nightmare. Pain, annoying as it is, makes us cautious. It's the invisible leash that keeps us alive. Without it, you're like a video game character with God mode switched on, except the game is real life, and there are no respawns. The very thing that seems like a gift quickly turns into a silent killer. So yeah, having no pain might sound badass when you're imagining bar fights or walking barefoot across a Lego battlefield. But in practice, it's more like being Superman with kryptonite built into your DNA. You don't feel pain, sure, but you also don't live long. Here's the twist most people don't expect. Congenital insensitivity to pain doesn't mean you stop suffering altogether. People with CIP still feel sadness, heartbreak, disappointment, and stress like everyone else. Their brains process emotional pain just fine. So while they won't cry when they slam a finger in the door, they can still cry when their crush leaves them on read. That's the irony. Physical pain is gone, but emotional pain stays. Imagine being a kid who never flinches at a broken bone, but still feels crushed when they get picked last in gym class. Or an adult who doesn't even notice a burn on their hand, but feels gut punch when a relationship ends. Pain didn't leave the building, it just changed costumes. And that makes CIP even more dangerous, because people think it's a free pass to live pain-free. It isn't. It's more like buying an all-you-can-eat buffet ticket but finding out half the dishes are empty. Sure, you skip the broken leg agony, but you still get anxiety, grief, and loneliness served up on a silver platter. One researcher put it best: pain is the price of survival. It warns you when something is wrong in your body. Without it, you don't get the memo until it's too late. And emotional pain? That's the price of being human. You can't shut that off without shutting down everything that makes life feel meaningful. So no, it's not a free upgrade to no suffering mode. It's a glitch in the system. And like all glitches, it comes with consequences that are way scarier than the original problem. Scientists today are trying to unravel the genetics behind CIP, because hidden in this rare condition might be answers for treating pain the rest of us suffer. The key lies in a gene called PRDM12, which is crucial for building the nerve cells that let us sense pain. In people with CIP, that gene is mutated so the alarm system never gets wired up. By studying it, researchers hope they can design new treatments for chronic pain. Imagine switching off pain temporarily for cancer patients or people with severe nerve damage. Some even dream about turning it into technology. What if one day you could flick a switch in your brain and decide when to feel pain? Athletes could run marathons without cramps, soldiers could fight without flinching, dentists could throw away the needles. Sounds like science fiction, but so did organ transplants once upon a time. But there's a catch. Pain isn't just an inconvenience, it's part of our survival toolkit. If you remove it entirely, you're not making a superhero, you're making someone more vulnerable than ever. So the real goal isn't to erase pain, but to control it, to have a dial instead of an off button, a volume knob where you can turn the pain down during surgery, but crank it back up when you're about to accidentally step into traffic. Until then, people with CIP remind us of something strange. Pain, as awful as it feels, is also proof that we're alive. It's the red flashing light on our dashboard. It's the reason we notice the sharp edge, the boiling water, the broken bone. Without it, life is quieter, yes, but dangerously quiet. So the next time you complain about a paper cut or stepping on a Lego, just remember, pain might be annoying, but it's also the one thing standing between you and disaster. In a twisted way, pain is the superpower. And me, I'll take a stub toe any day, just please, not on Lego. So, what have we learned? Pain might feel like your worst enemy, but in reality, it's your most loyal bodyguard. People born with CIP prove that living without pain isn't a blessing, it's a gamble with life itself. They walk through fire without flinching, but that's exactly why the fire wins in the end. Never feeling pain sounds like a superpower on paper, but it's really a curse wearing a cape. Pain is the little alarm bell that keeps us from self-destructing. Annoying, loud, impossible to ignore, but without it, we'd never know when danger was creeping up on us. So maybe next time you stub your toe or step on a Lego, instead of screaming, "Why me?" you could thank your nerves for still doing their job. Okay, you'll probably still scream, "Why me?" but deep down, you'll know it's the sound of staying alive. And me? I'm just dumb rabbit. I hate pain, I hate Lego, and I especially hate running out of carrots. But I'd rather feel all of that than feel nothing at all. Don't forget to like and subscribe, or else I'll suffer the one pain even CIP can't cure, a broken rabbit heart.